I am Tanti Poche, teacher at Gonzales Middle School. I am most passionate about hands-on science learning. In my classroom, I like it to be a playground, an exploratory type setting where all students can learn and grow at their own pace. In my class, I have a diverse group. I have kids of all kinds. I have diverse learners, I have regular learners, I also have EL learners, okay? And they're all learning at different paces. And so I try to provide the best hands-on experience that they could possibly attain so that they could all grow. And that is what my passion is. My passion lies in growing the kids and ensuring that they have everything they need to master the criteria for the lesson. In this lesson, which you're going to see, we're going to explore the digestive system. And the digestive system is one of the systems, one of the subsystems that they need to know in order to explore the human body. So in our system, in our unit, we're going to talk about McKenna. This is all 7th graders, and you're going to see them explore McKenna and go through each one of the parts so that at the end of the lesson, they would be able to identify the body systems and be able to talk about the functions of those systems, as well as be able to understand what a healthy system looks like and what an unhealthy system looks like, so they could understand when something is wrong with that system, or be able to say, like the driving question asks us, well, how can something in one part affect something in another part and lead to our diagnosis question? Well, what is wrong with McKenna? So that is what this lesson is going to be about. And in this lesson, you're going to see us go through the success criteria, identify those parts. Now, these lessons are chunky, so they're made to be in a 2-day setting, and I'm going to give you pieces of that so you can see how the students in the 7th grade class lead to the criteria of mastery to be able to understand what's happening in the body system while taking on a medical diagnosis role and being able to diagnose McKenna as well. Enjoy. So I like that, yes.
Like parts working together for a reason.
Parts working together for a reason. So what I like that we're all identifying, the first part of this is parts working together. And that's exactly, he said for a goal, he said for a reason, but in science we like to say for a function. That is what we're doing, because remember, the body is going to function. Now today we have a very interesting lesson right here. And what we want to do is, right here, we want to be able to explain how that body is composed of interacting subsystems. What does the word interacting mean? What is that vocabulary word interacting? Give me somebody new. Right here. Okay? Talia, I'll take you. What does interacting mean? Working together. So how can we do that? We have to develop our success criteria to say, how can we master this learning target? In order to do that, what's the first thing you think we have to be able to do? But that's the whole thing. We need to break that apart, right? You know how I normally write 1, 2, and 3 on there? What's the first chunk of that we need to do? Anybody? Alexa, try. We got to identify a system. I'll take that. What you said, identify what? We have to, she said, identify the subsystem. Yes. We can't explain it unless we what? Identify it first. Very good. What else will we have to do?
Analyze, understand it.
We could analyze and understand. What are we analyzing and understanding?
Like the functional system, the partial system, like how it interacts with system.
That is exactly right. So she said we have to identify the subsystem. He said we have to be able to analyze it. That is what we're going to do. That's one thing, friend, first. And then we have to look at the whole what? The whole what? The whole body, the whole system together. So that is what we're going to do. If you look at the whole thing, you'll notice that the parts that you put together is exactly what we're going to do in this lesson. So right here, I'm going to go ahead on and show you. That is what you said, but look what I have on the board right here for my success criteria. Look at my success criteria. Does that look like what we just said in class? Yes. Yes, it does. Because in order for us to be able to do that, we have to first identify the what? The What is this? The parts. Okay, we have to identify the parts. Who said that? Somebody said that. Okay, who said that? Okay, that's one. Then we have to determine the what? The subsystem. Who? That was what Alexi said right there. And then we have to do what? Analyze it. Who that? That was exactly what Braden said. And this is the part that I added. This is what we didn't get to. But then we have to do what? Compare and contrast them. What does compare and contrast mean? Similarities and differences. And raise your hand if you remember similarities and differences from yesterday. Very good. All right, let's look right here. If you notice, it says, look at the structures of the digestive system. What do you notice about the structures of these organs? What? They're all connected. Very good. What else? Yes.
They're like bunched up.
They're all bunched up right here and here. They're all bunched up. What is this shape like? Like a what? Like a kidney bean. Or what is this? What is this shape like? Kind of look like brain because it has all of that. I know what you're saying based on what it looked like. But it says, what are some things that you may be wondering? Huh? Yes.
Why does the organs look the way they do?
Oh, very good. He said, why do organs look the way we do? That is something that we can add to our notice and wonder chart. Look up here where we have our notice and wonder chart. That's a very good question. No, why do they look that way? Why do organs look that way? So I'm going to add that because that was very good. What else are we wondering that we can add? Yes, Portland? How do they work together? Very good. How do they work together? I'm going to add that. And we're about to figure that out. All right, so on your notebook, you should be able to see this as well. But if not, you're going to be able to look up here, but you should be able to see that. What is our patient name? McKenna. How old is she? 13, and she's a female. What we're going to do is we're going to look at an endoscopy. An endoscopy is what they do when you go to the doctor and they need to look at your inside. Somebody earlier said an x-ray. It's an x-ray of the inside of your body. So with this endoscopy, they took pictures of what the inside of McKenna looked like. You have a sheet right there on your board. You need your pencil. As we look inside McKenna, you're going to go through the different parts and you're going to talk about what they look like. Now you're going to look at what they look like. You're going to look at a healthy version and you're going to look at an unhealthy version. All right, what y'all got right here?
Her throat looks like tight or like a little bit swollen.
Huh?
Her throat looks like swollen.
Okay, her throat looks like it's swollen. What you got? Okay, she said it's like closed up. What you think? Talk louder. I can't hear you. Okay, and
Hers is more pink and red than the healthy person one.
it's more what?
Pink and red.
Okay, so those are things that we could put on our chart, right? So we talked about the color, right? So these are our observations. We talked about the color. We talked about how one is open and one is more closed. So very good on all of those. What about, does it look different? Right there? What about the texture? So we want to look at that, the texture.
It's like,
Huh?
it's got like,
They got something. Look at that. So we got, those are things we could identify on there. Very good. What y'all have on your sheet?
Now P1 has more foamy and it's like fun. I don't know, like it has like foamy at like the end of it mostly, while the healthy one is like normal and
Because has more acid since she hasn't been eating much.
Okay. So
And
he's
the healthy one has less acid because they've been eating, and when you eat, it gets rid of a lot of that acid in your stomach.
oh, very good. So he's saying, I know you guys couldn't hear over here, but he was saying at first, Dewan was saying that one of them was more foamy and the other one wasn't. But then Caleb came behind him and said because one has more acid in it and when it's juicier than the other. Raise your hand if you would agree with both of them. Very, very good. I'm going to go to the next group. I'm going to come up here to this group right here. What's the next part? The small intestines. What did y'all say at this group right here?
McKenna one was drier than the healthy one.
it wasn't moist like this. It was dry.
Okay, did all y'all write that over here? Now, here we go. Let's start looking at our criteria on the board. Look at our success criteria. What is the first thing that we had to do? Identify what? The parts of the system. And then what is the second thing that we had to do? Determine the subsystem. What subsystems are we talking about? The digestive system. So I'm going to move this on our driving question board right here. We're talking about the digestive system. Now, will McKenna still need these other systems up here? Yes, she will, because these are the other systems she needs so that the body can work what? Together. Now, we know that she has this digestive system. Let's go ahead on and identify those parts like our success criteria. What are those parts? Somebody give me one. Okay, somebody give me one. What's the first part? Yes. Esophagus. Somebody give me another one. Huh? Sorry, one at a time. Hold up. Yes. What? The large intestines. Behind me. Thank you, Kevin. What did you say? Because I haven't heard from you. Yes. What did you say? What's the next part? Huh? What part did you investigate? All I need is one. We looked at the esophagus. We looked at the large intestines. What else did we look at? The stomach. See that? You do know. Don't tell me you don't know. You do know. The stomach. Good job. Thank you. What else? What are the other parts? Yes. The what? The middle of the intestines. And then finally, what's the last one? Huh? We got the large intestines right here. Okay, the small intestines. Okay? The small intestines. So we have all of these parts. Look right here. We're going through our checklist. We identified the parts of the system. We determined what subsystems we're looking at. We analyzed the system because we looked at each part and we made an observation about what each part was doing. So now we're going to make an assumption. If you go to Google Classroom, please go to Google Classroom. We're going to do a skills check. In Google Classroom, there's a question that is waiting for you. There are 2 questions on the digestive system that is waiting for you. The first question says to identify the parts of a system, and then the second question says to explain why McKenna's digestive system is a system. Please go ahead on and start that, please. I truly believe that this lesson was a success. In this lesson, the success criteria stated that the kids had to be able to identify the parts of the digestive system, and they also had to be able to compare and contrast what a healthy system looked like and what an unhealthy system looked like. And in doing so, they should be able to diagnose what is wrong with McKenna. I truly believe that the impact of this lesson will be long-lived. This lesson was going to be important for those kids that have a strong interest in the medical field, as well as those kids who may not have an interest in the medical field, but just are curious about their bodies and what's happening with their bodies. They could take this information and be able to try to diagnose themselves and understand what is actually happening and how one part can affect so many other parts. In the next lesson, students did a full lab on the functions of each one of the parts in the digestive system, and that lab was called Fun with Pooh. This is where students were able to see what a healthy functioning system would look like and how it would perform.